I think his point was that there's a court that's supposed to adjudicate constitutionality, and it's not the legislature's job to do that. That's certainly the logical extension of saying, well, the court's going to have the final word. So I just think that's fundamentally wrong. Look, if he stood up there and said, this is definitely constitutional, here's all the reasons why income isn't property and why I believe this is constitutional, I think maybe I'd have a slightly different reaction. I would disagree with him, but, folks are free to have those disagreements. As I pointed out on the floor, the U.S. Supreme Court often has disagreements over matters of constitutional interpretation, and they're incredibly smart people that are trained to do only this. But there's Justice Jackson in the early 20th century had this great line in one of his decisions saying that the Supreme Court is not last because they're right. The only reason they're right is because they're last. And I think that, among other things, reminds us that we all have a role to play here. We don't all just throw up our hands and say, well, we're not lawyers, that's for the courts to decide. All three branches of government, when they take office, they swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, including us. If it wasn't our job to abide by the Constitution, and that was only the court's job, then why on earth would we have to take that oath in the first place? It makes no sense. We take the oath because it means something. It means we've got to do our best to do what we think is constitutional and avoid doing what we believe to not be constitutional. So it's one thing to have a difference of opinion, and some people think something is constitutional and some people don't. That's a sign of a healthy democracy. But to pass something to be unconstitutional based on the extremely clear direction given by the state Supreme Court, it is not a close call. If the Supreme Court upholds their 1933 decision, this tax will be dismissed 9-0. You rarely get legal constitutional questions that are more clear than this. The only way this survives constitutional scrutiny is if the Supreme Court gets rid of their 100-year-old precedent. So it's our job to follow that 100-year-old precedent. That's what's on the books. It's very clear. It is our job as a legislature to only do that which is constitutional. Under current Supreme Court precedent, this bill is plainly unconstitutional, and I think it's an abrogation of our duty and a violation of our constitutional oaths to do something that we know to be unconstitutional under current Supreme Court precedent.